Well, I think that early part, in our earlier part of our conversation, you asked the question, who should we view as the beneficiary of immigration policies that we seek to reform? And I just want to say this as a non-attorney, that it seems to me that the beneficiary has to be those who are now not understanding the value and the benefits of immigration, of immigrants. Mm-hmm. I look at it, I look at it so differently because I think that once a law is in place, I don't know how you're going to remove it. What we have to do is stop these crazy laws to come into being. So, for example, I remember, it's a little bit of history, and I don't know that much, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember someone mentioning to me, that in 1882 we had the Chinese Exclusion Act, mm-hmm. and we didn't even remove it until 1947, 48. And the reason we removed it is because if we didn't, we would have to take a chance as a nation not to be able to do trade and an economic relationship with Asia. You think about this, and you think about the immigration law like, the wet foot, dry foot Cuban immigration thing, that if you were from Cuba and you set foot, you put 1 foot on dry land, you immediately receive all the benefits of, mm-hmm. of a person with a green card holder and that type of thing. Somewhere along the line, we have to begin to convince our elected leaders and help them understand the values and the benefits that we receive from these individuals. Like these DACA recipients, they're not just students, they're not just kids, they're also professionals. These are individuals who are contributing, who are gonna make our society and our quality of life better. When I look at these kids and I'm looking at these kids not as kids that are just kids, I'm looking at these kids as potentially the future doctor that finds a cure for cancer. I look at these individuals as contributors. Until we as a nation begin to recognize the value of every one of these individuals, I'm not so sure that we're going to even get close to any kind of reform. The business community is understanding this stuff now. They're starting to say, hey, we need comprehensive reform. That just happened recently, right? I'm proud to say that Governor Snyder has signed on to a coalition that's in support of the Dreamers Act. As a Republican, that's something unique. We have somewhere also we have lost our humanitarian perspectives on all this stuff, and I don't know what you can do as attorneys, but I'm hoping somewhere along the line that argument can also be part of your argument as you begin to create and defend individuals like those that we're talking about today. And I guess my plea is that, and I know that's my passion, is that these are still human beings, and we're just dealing with them like a statistic or just something that we have to deal with. They got this status here and they got this. They're still human beings, and I don't know how that works within the legal field, but I guess that would be my plea for all of you and all of us really to find a way to recognize and to share the information of the valuable contributions and the value that every one of these individuals brings to our own quality of life. I'm an immigrant, and I know what I had to go through, and I know what my family had to go through, and I think the gentleman over here is talking about how he has to go through. The bottom line, somewhere along the line, when can we become human beings again and recognize this? And I hope that in this great nation of ours, that is a democracy, that we begin to look at how we should elect the right leadership to take us beyond this crazy stuff that's going on today. I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense. The contributions, we may not want to talk about economics, but there's not only economics, the cultural contributions they bring, and all these other things. I hope there's a solution to this, and I understand that the legal field will have to be a major player in that coming to that conclusion and to that solution. So that's my plea. I don't have all the history of all the legal stuff, but I know that from a personal experience and also working with a lot of these immigrant groups in my role on behalf of Governor Snyder, the human side is sometimes overlooked, and I just hope that we can do that at some point again. Thanks.